So yeah, Sonic Advance wasn't the first best go I expected. So you know what? Let's go back in time. Not that back to the past. Okay, that's better. But honestly, it's hard to say how old I was playing the original Sonic 1. My best bet being between 5 and 7, or 4 being a low ball. Needless to say, I've been a fan of the Blue Hedgehog for just about 2 decades. I played all his games, the good, the bad, and the far in between. But playing Sonic Advance put a bad taste in my mouth. Coming from playing Mania to Advance was like going from gourmet food to high school cafeteria food. Okay at best if you're lucky. So I told myself, if playing Mania rekindled my love for the classic series, how would playing the original after not playing it for years and years would hold up to me now? And just like every story, it has a beginning. I was just a younger brother who watched his older brother play till he got the chance. And when I got the chance, the rest speaks for itself. I was hooked into the series. But in the younger brother fashion, dying in early stages, having my older brother beat stages for me, was prone to happening a lot. And honestly, made for childhood memories I'd never forget. But memories aside, does Sonic 1 still hold up after 2 decades? Is it worth your time to play now? Let's see. Ah, the original, the old-fashioned, the traditional Sonic, the Sonic with no friends, to make rush production games. Sorry, just repressing some deep, horrible memories.
Oh my God! No!
Moving on. Sonic 1 was released in 1991, only 3 years before I was born, and before Sonic was the gaming icon of Sega. Well, first, the mascot was Alex Kidd. Who's Alex Kidd? Actually, who is Alex Kidd? Honestly, also in the Sonic racing games, I've never heard of him once.
Okay, Wikipedia. So he was popular in the 80s.
Well, that explains everything. Anyways, the 90s was a time where I guess everything had to have an attitude era. WWE did it, but I guess Sonic beat them to the punch. Sonic original designs were an armadillo, which became Mighty, a porcupine, a rabbit, and a dog, and an old guy, which later became Eggman. I mean, Robotnik. But doesn't he turn into Eggman later? So wouldn't that be right? You know what? I'm going way too into this too much. Naoto Oshima was the one who worked on all the designs. But in the end, by popular vote, a hedgehog was chosen. And the old guy became the villain we know today as Eggman or Robotnik, whatever you grew up with. I'm in the weird mix, because I grew up with both at the exact same time. So I just call him wherever the game does. But with all said and done, Sega now had their mascot, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes Mr. Needle Mouse, Destroyer of Evil! Yeah, Sonic's name wasn't even Sonic. It was this, and if you do a translation, Needle Mouse is just Hedgehog. So it's Mr. Hedgehog, which I would love to make fun of, but Mario's original name was Jumpman, or in some cases...
Name? Mario. Last name? Mario. Okay, what's your name?
Luigi.
Luigi?
Nah, Luigi Mario.
But hey, I'm glad Sonic was chosen. It's a cool name. Cool enough for me to actually want to change my name as a kid. Sonic Anthony Guscott. I had a nice ring to it when I was younger. Wonder why I never thought of doing it, ever. Guess we'll never know. Anyways, if Sonic was going to be the mascot, he first had to don the colors of blue, like Sega. And with his slick new shoes that were based off of Christmas and Michael Jackson, we now had the coolest thing to hit the 90s. But doesn't just stop there. Remember when I said the attitude era? Yes, Sonic basically piloted that plane into gaming with the commercials, basically saying, fuck Mario, my console's better. Fuck a theory because I'm the fastest thing alive and the coolest thing alive. Anyway, but I never watched the commercials when I was a kid. Probably because by the time the game came out, I wasn't even, alive. But anyway, they were funny to actually look up. I had a good time. And then there's a Japanese commercial. Yep, burn it with fire. And while you're at it, burn this too. Geez, so much to talk about, and I haven't even hit the gameplay yet. I must really like this game. Before I get into the gameplay, I just want to make a quick note that this isn't the original Sonic 1 on Genesis. It's a port known as Sega Ages, which, funny enough, features Alice Kid. Anyway, let's go into the story. And if you're looking for an in-depth story, don't expect it. The plot is about as simple as a PB&J sandwich. So as Sonic, it's your job to stick it to the big man Robotnik himself by traveling through 6 zones, beating his wacky inventions and freeing the animals he has captured.
Are you okay? You idiot! That's my life support machine!
And use for his robots, and break in Mars to find those sweet power-ups. And that's it. And for a first game, it's okay. Storytelling has never been Sonic's strong suit, so I'm usually willing to let it slide. Now in terms of gameplay, Sonic is your typical 2D platformer. He goes left, he goes right, but what really makes him stand out is his hit count system. Most games have a get hit once you die or get a power-up keeps you alive just a little bit longer. Sonic, however, introduced magic rings that not only keep him alive, but add to his score. If you snag 100 of those sweet babies, you get an extra life, get hit, and you lose rings. But all hope isn't lost, as you can recollect rings, keeping your life and your score somewhat intact. Get hit twice, you die. Sonic also has power-up, which gives him that extra hit count, known as the shield. Now, new to this version of Sonic 1, you have access to the drop dash from Mania and the sprint dash, and because every reviewer has to make a Sonic Genesis joke, here's mine. Here's Sega Ages on the Switch, here's Sonic Genesis on the GBA. See the difference? Good. Fuck the game. Let's move on. Back to the good qualities. The drop dash is a nice welcome because now you can always keep that momentum if you play well. Same with the sprint dash. Gaps that now slowed Sonic down even for just a second mean absolutely nothing, because you can simply sprint dash over it and making Sonic 1 feel a lot more faster than it originally was. And I'm glad for it, because Sonic 1 on the original Genesis actually is really slow for whatever reason. But if you really want to be that person to play it that way, you can turn that off in the options. And while I'm in options, you can choose which version of Sonic 1 you want to play. Sonic 1 the Mega Drive, Sonic 1 the Sega Genesis, and Sonic 1 the Mega Play. I have no real idea what's the difference between the first two gameplay wise, but the Mega Play version is just a Sonic 1 ported to arcade with no lies, a time limit, and half the stage cut. So basically a coin wasted with half the charm of the original. So we've made it to the stages. I'm guessing you guys want me to rant on Green Hill Zone. Wrong. The original Green Hill is one of gaming's iconic level ones. Most people know it by the tune alone. Why I have issues with it in other games is because it's just a knockoff of the original, clashing to it, but losing it and just making themselves feel inferior by design, and that's all I really have to say about that. Marble Hill is a polar opposite stage of Green Hill. While Green Hill is all about speed and keeping it up, Marble Hill likes to take that, flip it around, and says, how about slowing down and doing slow platforming, which makes this zone feel misplaced. Spring Yard Zone. Back to speed with some slow platforming. I like the stage, and as a kid, this and Casino Night Zone reminds me of Big Papa by Notorious sped up. Just listen to it. Did you get that? Starlight Zone. I love the music in the stage, and the stage itself does a good job of combining speed and platforming. And check out that airtime I can get as Sonic. Wait, Sonic, where are you going? Sonic, come back! Where are you going? Scrap Bright. Final Zone. The final clash with the big man himself. No rings, no friends, just a fight between men. hedge between species? You know, there's no right way to say this, is there? And while I'm at it because this technically counts, Special Zone, which are stages that test luck rather than skill, and you go through 6 of these, and when you beat one, you get the famous gem known as the Chaos Emerald. Collect 6 and you get the true ending. So overall, each stage, except a few of them, have really good pacing, and even stages I don't like have amazing music, and I would love to see some of my hated stages be remixed in future Sonic games and done more in a fun and bearable way. So now the question arises, is Sonic 1 good? Is it worth your time? Yes. And while at the end of the day, it's my opinion and your decision, I personally think the original still holds up, and with Sonic 1 being accessible on multiple different platforms and consoles, heck, even mobile phone, I should give you more than enough reason to give it a try even once. If you have a Nintendo Switch, I highly recommend you play this version, since you not only get to play it on the go, you get to play it at home. Not to mention it's only $7.99, which is, $8 plus tax in US and Canada. So it's not an extremely expensive game. It's cheaper than buying a copy of Sonic Genesis on the GBA. Remember that. It is cheaper to buy this version than to buy the game that sucks on the Game Boy Advance. Well guys, it's time to go. Before I close out, I would like to thank Yuji Naka and Naoto Oshima for bringing the Hedgehog to life. He may have it rough, but he's always been cool to me. And a quick thanks to my older brother for unintentionally getting me into the series. I don't know if you're watching this, but I appreciate it anyway. And with that, I'll give you guys the final thanks for watching the video. So I guess it's time I gave the plumber some love.
See you next